hello, everybody. Today is Friday, November 13th, Friday the 13th. That's what it is. So we're here with Barry Habib at the National Real Estate Post and NRP Daily. Hi, Barry.
Good morning.
So I'm glad we have you on for Friday because we just had you Monday and you were, talking about an auction that was going to go down this week and some inflation numbers that were going to come out. So why don't we just start with those two items? How did those pan out for us?
It was almost like where they canceled each other out. So the auction results on the 10-year Treasury at a yield of 0.96, that's the highest we've seen in 5 months. And it really was tepid response. And that tells you that the smart money out there thinks that yields will probably go higher. So here's why. At 0.96, if you're going to buy with both hands, that means you think that yields will go down, which means that 0.96 yield will be a nice, high, juicy yield. And if yields go down, your yield at 0.96 is worth more, because people would pay more to get a higher yield than that's available in the market. But even with the highest yields in 5 months, the buyers were not there. Both foreign buyers were not there, domestic buyers were not there with the appetite we had hoped for. And that just suggests that they think that 0.96 is comparatively high as it might appear for the past 5 months. They weren't willing to make a commitment at that level because the feeling from the smart money is that yields could go higher. Now, yesterday, we did get inflation numbers on the CPI Consumer Price Index, and they were really tame. I think that there was a reason for that, and the media really didn't cover it. But I think that, we started to see a spike in cases in the second half of October. And it just seems to me that people are playing it a little bit more cautious. Many states issuing restrictions and things of that nature. So I think that kind of kept the lid on inflation. I think that we'll probably see more of that in the month of November. So there is a chance that we could see a cycle down. Now, the other news, and you and I talked about it, I cited Moderna. I said mid-November, Moderna might come out with interim trials, and they should. But at the same time, one of the many over 230 opportunities for a vaccine, as everybody is now aware, Pfizer came out with very, very good results, over 90% efficacy. So listen, this is good stuff. It caused rates to go up, but listen, there's a good reason for rates to go up, right? Because let's get rid of this darn thing.
Yeah. Interesting.
Now we probably won't see mass distribution till sometime late spring, early summer of next year. So we still have a ways to go, but it's so nice to see light at the end of the tunnel. It's just, please be careful. And when we get to the other side of it, I actually think that rates come down. I know everybody's saying rates go up, but I do think rates come down because then demand will come back. People come back to work. If demand meets supply, all of this pandemic emergency unemployment assistance will expire by then. People come back to work. It keeps inflation down. We have the big debt, slow growth. I think that spells good news for interest rates.
That's probably that probably is good news because you had mentioned a new number that had come out that half of all mortgages have an interest rate below 4%. So,
Yeah.
Just think about that. If we see a rate increase, or an increasing rate environment, what that could mean to a lot of pipelines out there.
You're so right. And when you think about that number actually grows every day. Right now, 70% of the marketplace is refinances. I don't remember a number that high.
Really high.
But, 70%. That's according to the Mortgage Bankers Association, just released this week, where that's a very big makeup. Now, part of that is because the purchase market would actually be much stronger. However, the inventory levels, as you've cited so many times, are so low, we're not getting the volume of those. So refinances are more dominant. But 70% of many people's pipelines are refinances. If you go by the MBA's numbers, well, if half of all opportunities out there and growing every day are below 4%, so it's going to be more than half very soon, then that leads us to believe that if you think that the typical incentive, I know it's different from everybody, but if you want to just put a stake in the ground and say what's a typical incentive around 0.75%, that means that an existing interest rate of less than 4%, in order to have an incentive to refinance, offered rates have to be 3.25 or below.
Yeah.
So, or maybe just below 3.25. So what I'm thinking is that we're not that far from it.
Yeah.
If we get a bump to that level, what are you doing today so you're not blindsided by this? So you're not like, Braveheart, where everybody starts going after realtors, they come over the hill in hordes.
It's kind of
so I think that, and the advice you guys have always given, Frank, you and Brian have always said, don't take your eye off the referrals from realtors and others, and You know, we've all together talked about how important debt consolidation is, because that's your best insurance policy, is to make sure that you take advantage of one of the other aspects right now that's so good is with the amounts of appreciation we've had. There's so much equity in homes. About $180,000 is the average equity. The average LTV is 52 or 53%.
Yeah.
34% of all homes are owned free and clear. So there's a lot of opportunity. At the same time, we have the highest debt levels we've ever had. So you can do so much good out there and kind of insulate yourself and protect yourself if interest rates do get to 3.25 or above, while everybody else would be out there looking at, oh my gosh, half my business is slowed. Or if you take a look and say, well, 70% of the business, 35% of my business is slowed, right? Half of 70%. Then you could say, I'm not going to even be affected by that because I'm really sharp on my debt consols, and I've been shifting to really offer real estate agents some great value, great information, kept those contacts growing. And a lot of things you've taught, you guys were the very first to teach people to do videos, do them on social media. And boy, what you had been teaching for the past, I think, 12 years, 10 years, whatever it is, everybody else needs to be doing that more than ever right now.
Great. Hey, Barry, just one more thing before we head out of here. Next week, anything popping up next week we should be concerned about with respect to the market?
Well, we're going to get some more housing data that'll roll around, and no doubt the media is going to try and put a negative spin. You know, whenever you hear from Diana Olick, please just understand you got to read between the lines there and go a little deeper. Whenever you hear something from Adam Data or these Crash Brothers, Adam Data is pretty big, and I'm so glad you mentioned it, because just yesterday, Adam Data talking about the fact that they see foreclosures rising dramatically, and this. You know, foreclosures are down 80% year over year. Just think about that. So they see a rise from a very low level month over month. They're going to want to sensationalize that and scare people, because that's all they try and do to grab headlines. But foreclosures, while up month over month, they're still very low compared to where they were. And that's because, you know, when you think about it, Frank, if you look at today's statistics, 95% of the homes with a mortgage, remember 34% are free and clear, 95% of homes with a mortgage have an LTV above 90. 87% above 80. So there's a lot of equity to protect. People find a way to either make the payment, or if you sell your home, listing to contract. National Association of Realtors says 22 days. If you strip out the ones that are crazy priced high just to see what I can get, throw a flyer out there, it's closer to a week that your home will go from listing to contract on average. It's amazing. So I don't see a foreclosure issue. There's just no inventory.
Got it. All right. Well, great stuff, Barry. Appreciate it, as always. Listen, guys, I'll put links down below to MBS Highway, which you can start for free, and also to Barry's book and to his Certified Mortgage Advisor class. I'll put those all down below so you can engage with Barry and MBS Highway and just become a better advisor to your people. So with that, thanks, Barry.
Thank you, brother.
All right. Hey, you guys have a great day. Leave us your comments down below. Forward, share, and subscribe. And you can get our mobile app by doing this.
Download the National Real Estate Post mobile app today. Available on Apple Store and Google Play. Just search National Real Estate Post.